If you would ever tell me that I can go from this guy working in North Dakota on the farm to this guy right here, I would say you're probably crazy, because I didn't believe into it last time. But if you don't believe into it now, you better not watch this video, because I will prove you are wrong. Anyways, my name is Sergii Khromchenko. I've been in the QA field for a while, and I would love to share my story. How could I go from the farm boy into the guy who drives Cybertruck and owns the house in Los Angeles, California? And it all started back in North Dakota, where I've spent about 5 years of my life working on the farm. I was one of the happiest kids in the world, I could say, because you've got a fresh air, you've got your housing covered by your farmer, you've got a pickup truck full of gas that you can drive to town and back, and you've got money. You've got up to 17 bucks an hour after 5 years working on the farm. But that all seemed to be nice until you realize that you're a young guy and you want to grow, you want to change your mentality, you're gonna get a career, you wanna live in a place where a lot of young and energetic people are, not working on the farm. Although I do love farm with all my heart, those years were some of the best years of my life. But I decided to move on. And as soon as I told my farmer that, hey, I'm thinking to go and study in the Silicon Valley to become a QA engineer, he was like, you have to go to college. I told him, well, there are some boot camps that you can go study for half a year and then become a specialist and find a job. And every single person who I would tell about it on the farm told me that, no, this is not true. It's a scam. You cannot become a software QA engineer in half a year. It's impossible. Those schools are scammers. I've heard about them. I was like, I've seen a lot of proof on the YouTube, just like this one, that people did change the job and switch to a new career. They still told me it's impossible, but I was like, well, in half a year, I'm moving to Silicon Valley. I'll save some money, I'll move there, I'll change my life, and I'll get back to you after I do that. Guess what happened? For half a year, I was preparing myself. I was studying on my own, watching YouTube videos just like this one and that one right there to learn basics before I move on and switch my career. And then I moved on to Silicon Valley. I've borrowed $13,000 from my friends who did work on the farm that time, and I rented a 2-bedroom apartment in Mountain View, California, for $2,500 at that time. And I've also rented half of my room to another guy from the school and the other room to 2 more guys from the school, because I didn't want to spend $2,500 every month while I had only $13,000 in a pocket. Attention, attention, you forgot to hit that big fat thumb up button below. Subscribe to our channel because you do want to help this guy to get first 100,000 subscribers on the page. Right now we have about 28,000, so 72 more thousand and we're gonna get there, thanks to you. And also, sign up for or subscribe for our Instagram and Telegram communities, links to which you can find right here. Let's continue. So, I went there, I rented an apartment, found some cool people, and started studying. It was fun, and after I finished the boot camp, I started looking for a job, and that was quite an interesting process. It took me 251 applications until I got a job offer. And by the way, I did keep this spreadsheet of the companies and dates and some other information about my applications. And you should keep it as well, because whenever you apply for a job, you want to remember which resume version did you apply for your job with, because you might have few. You have to remember when did you apply for it, just for the analytic purposes later on, so you would know that, hey, this job process took me from this day to that day until I landed the job. It took me 251 applications in order to get my first job, but that was quite a complicated process. Since I started applying for a job, I went through a lot of phone calls with recruiters from Amazon, Facebook, and a lot of startups. And once upon a time, the company 8x8 from Silicon Valley called me, and I had a half an hour call with an HR. And she asked me basic questions about my story and my experience, and she loved it. She loved it because of the energy that she heard. By the way, guys, your character and your energy is some of the most important parts of the interview that you need to have in order to pass it. And I got it, I've killed it. First 30 minutes, then she said, let me get back to you in a bit. Half an hour later, she called me, she said, hey, how about in 2 days you can have an interview with our QA manager? I was like, oh my goodness, QA manager for the first time in my life. And I did have a call with him, but before that call, for 2 days, I was studying like crazy. And I've studied for 2 days nonstop. And also I printed 9 A4 pieces of paper with a lot of notes on it. I put it on my bed and I was standing with the phone, looking at my bed and answering those interview questions. By the way, if you guys do not want to spend as much money as I did and try yourself in the world of QA before you actually go for the course like I did, I started something for 1 week which is called QA Introduction Course, where you can simply for 20 bucks spend an entire week in a US-based startup and learn materials and have live webinars with a mentor with 12 years of experience. The link is right below this video. Let's continue. We had a half-an-hour call with the QA manager and I've killed it. And he said, let me get back to you in a bit. Day later, he called me and said, hey, we want you for an interview in 2 days. It's going to be the last round, final interview with 4 team members. I was like, holy moly, last round of interview, face-to-face, in the office, in a Silicon Valley startup. That was insane. I was shaking like crazy. I was so scared. But anyways, I went for an interview 2 hours before the interview in order to sit in the car and repeat all questions, and mainly not to get late because I was so afraid to get late and not get my first job. So I prepared very well. I went for the interview. They were very nice. They did ask me quite a few questions, but the one that I particularly remember, it was about logic. They've asked me, hey, if we have 100 splitters, and the splitters are pretty much a little cable boxes where you can put your phone charger or something else, or a computer charger. And they said, if you have 100 splitters and one of them doesn't work, what's the fastest route you can take in order to find that one that doesn't work? I was like, well, can you connect them all together into one line? He's like, yeah, you can. I was like, well, in this case, I would connect all of them together and connect my charger to the last one. If it doesn't work, I would split it in half and do the same thing with 2 halves. Which one doesn't work, I would split that one in half and do the same thing until I actually find it. And he enjoyed it. He loved it. He said, well, thank you for the interview. We're going to get back to you soon. Half an hour later, they called me and say, hey, we've got a job offer for you. There was low job offer. There was about 30 bucks an hour. But since I had no experience in the world, I was like, sure, that's awesome. Let's do that. They've sent me an offer and they asked me for a green card or my paperwork. And unfortunately, I was in some certain immigration status during that time and my work authorization got delayed. So I was not able to start working for them. And they said, well, we like you. As soon as you get it, give us a call back. Hopefully we'll still have this position open. I got my job authorization 2 months later and the position was already closed. But while I was looking for a job, I was still learning automation on my own. From a YouTube, from the guy like this, and from a cheap Udemy courses. I'm a self-learner. I like to learn things on my own. It's just the way I am. Majority of people do need a mentor to guide them, etc. But I'm one of those who just likes to sit on my own, learn things little by little. Within 2 months, I have applied, I don't remember for how many positions, but I went through 3 face-to-face interviews. And I have failed miserably on every single one of them. Guess why? Well, because I was too confident in myself. Since I've killed my first face-to-face interview, I was like, well, I can do anything. I can pass all of them. Give me another interview. Fail. Second one, fail. Third one, fail. Fourth one, failed miserably and started studying really hard afterwards. And number 5, I'm getting a call from Los Angeles, California. And a guy tells me that, hey, we would like to have you go through an interview, but it's going to be an online challenge. They gave me some platform. I don't even remember what it was. But anyways, on that platform, they had the basic questions about a black box, white box testing, browser testing, etc. And I did answer those questions, and I was like, I have no idea how it went because I'm a newbie, but I've killed it. They called me for a face-to-face interview in Los Angeles, California. And at that time, I hated Los Angeles. For me, it was hot weather during the summer, traffic jams, a lot of homeless people. I was like, why should someone live in Los Angeles if you're in Silicon Valley? That's much better. But I had no money. So you remember, I've borrowed $13,000, which I already ran out of by that time. And I had to go and get a job because I had to pay my friends who were still working on the farm, by the way. I went for the interview. That was actually not face-to-face, it was online interview with a senior developer because it was a super small startup, only 6 people in a single room, very early age. But I've killed it. One of the questions that I remember was, what did you use browser network tab for? And I said just for APIs, to see what APIs going in and out of browser and verify them, verify data. It was like, oh, awesome, cool. and I got a job offer. That was $70,000 or $80,000. I don't remember exactly how much, but it doesn't matter anymore because now, as the new QA engineer in the field, you can make close to 100 or sometimes even more. It's up to your personality and the way you learn things. After I've accepted the job offer, I moved to live in Los Angeles, and within a half a year, I've lost my job. I've lost my second job that I accepted, but it could work as the first one, because company ran out of money. On the 4th month, they told me that, hey, today's the payday, but we're out of money. I was like, awesome, how do I pay my bills? They're like, well, hopefully gonna get money soon, so let's work on this, that. I was like, I gotta work on Uber now. I have nothing to pay for my bills. Come on, I gotta pay the rent. And I've left the company. They never paid me money, actually, even though I was trying to get it back. And I started driving for Uber, and within a month, I got another job in Los Angeles, started making $82,000. First it was $70,000, then it was $82,000, so plus 12K, almost 20% increase, actually. And since that time, I was jumping from the company to company all the way up to I got a senior engineering manager as that position, up to 2017 when I've opened up my bootcamp. Even though I was still working as the QA automation engineer, but my friends started asking me, hey Sergii, how can we drive a Tesla like you, work out at the beach every day and enjoy life, because it looks like you are enjoying your life. I was like, you know what? Let me actually teach you that, because naturally I enjoy helping people, I enjoy changing their lives for the better and explaining complex things in a simple way. And I've started doing that. By the way, here's the guy who was in one of the first few groups and who got a job offer in one of the fastest growing startups in Northern America. Now he's actually working as the QA manager. I started helping my friends, and one by one, all of them got a job offers. This guy, then one guy in Apple, then this guy right here. And they start to refer their friends. More and more people started coming over, and then I've opened up a bootcamp, which is called Codemify, which you can see right here. Right here, that's the channel you're on right now. And with all of my experience that I got within a decade of work in the QA as an engineer lead manager and a senior engineering manager of SDET, which is software development, engineering, and test, I've decided that I can help more people as an expert and as a person who went through hundreds of interviews and whose students or graduates already got jobs and went through thousands of interviews, and they did share those questions with me. So if you guys are interested to change your life and would like to try yourself in the world of QA, I'm going to leave a link right below this video where you can either jump on a free call with me for a consultation, or can simply sign up for a 1-week introduction course into the world of QA, where you can, number one, try yourself as the QA engineer in a US-based startup. Number two, try yourself as the student of our school, because that's the place where I'm going to teach you and mentor you and quite a few other mentors who we have in our school. Now I'm going to quickly remind you to hit the like button below this video, subscribe to our channel, and also join our Instagram and Telegram communities, links to which you can find right here. Thank you for watching us, and good luck in your QA career.